Number 16. At all times I have acted honestly, maturely, and in an open and timely manner. I have consistently sought to enter into mature and productive dialogue with management, but my good faith attempts to secure this have been repeatedly stifled by a closed-off, completely bureaucratic and defensive mindset. Number 17. The employer's response has been characterized by stubborn resistance and an inability to communicate, recognize, acknowledge, and deal with the issues in an objective and even-handed manner. There has been a preference for diversion, secrecy, or the promotion of hidden subtexts born of desperation, which bear absolutely no relation to the issues at hand. Number 18. Managers have resorted to unwelcome and inappropriate sanctions in an unsuccessful effort to make me toe the line. Many dreamt up counter-allegations have been raised as a means of bolstering the management case and deflecting attention away from its fundamental weakness: the lack of any evidence to support such a punitive and hostile approach. Number 19. The management response forms an out-and-out rebuttal of my complaint. The language employed is immoderate, threatening, inexcusable, and out of all proportion. The decision itself is ill-advised, without substance, and the findings and recommendations reached are distorted and wholly inappropriate. As such, they have absolutely no part to play in gaining resolution. Number 20. The decision demonstrates a conspicuous disregard for my health and well-being by classing my long periods of sickness absence, along with the damage caused to my health, as exacerbating the situation. Such a position is inflammatory, and there appears to be no official recognition or acknowledgement of my increasing anxiety and work-related stress. Number 21. There is a deep reluctance to recognise and accept the extent to which my mental health has suffered through work-related stress over a protracted period. The threats of disciplinary action and performance management are an insensitive and disproportionate response. They are built upon the slimmest of evidence and are the exact opposite of what is needed to address, defuse, and remedy the situation. Number 22. The director's decision amounts to the final chapter of a calculated, systematic approach to consciously deflect the blame away from management and towards me. The decision is completely over the top and would fail any test of reasonableness. It is yet another closing of ranks, amounts to a wall of jargon and complexity, and is a determined attempt to dodge responsibility for an extended catalogue of failings. Number 23. The director's decision also amounts to an ongoing failure to acknowledge and heed the important and positive findings reached during the external investigation. The detailed and comprehensive allegations I made had been denied all along by management, but in the end held fast and were later vindicated in full. Number 24. The Council's policies and procedures could not be clearer, but it seems that inappropriate behaviour, although clearly highlighted in the policy, has been ignored, adversely impacting my case. The organisation's reluctance to focus on its own malpractice or to lay the blame squarely at the door of the offending individuals is a resounding failure and only succeeds in adding insult to injury. Number 25. What began as a worrying, small-scale issue grew into something far more serious. It is now a situation which has been allowed to grow and wreak havoc, damaging my health, threatening my continuing employment, my future prospects, and my ability to provide for my family. Given the director's ongoing failure to act decisively, my confidence in the organisation reaching a dignified and appropriate outcome is now seriously diminished. Number 26. If management and their human resources colleagues had adopted a fair-minded approach and acted upon the issues early on, the process would never have reached such a difficult point. Despite their frequent assertions to the contrary, I have never detected any noticeable groundswell of support coming in my direction. Far from it. Number 27. An objective, supportive, non-judgmental approach was absolutely vital on the part of management. But with this prospect now gone, it's become clear that the organisation's approach has descended into the base reactions of an unreasonable employer, failing in its duty to its employees. This fundamental weakness of will has caused great concern for me and damaged my health and well-being to such an extent that it may now attract the involvement of my solicitors. Number 28. Despite my frequent signposting of a number of key incidents, it appears the collective campaign of bullying and harassment is still occurring, but has advanced to corporate level. Furthermore, the director's refusal to accept and acknowledge my work-related stress as a consequence of this conduct, despite it being certified and endorsed by the employer's occupational health doctor, now stands in the way of any resolution. Number 29. This official heavy-handedness, given its origins, only succeeds in raising and magnifying the threat. Mr. X's decision statement displays callous disregard and little awareness of directors' legal responsibilities as set out under the Health and Safety Executive. Such an unhelpful and disconnected attitude in a senior person is both striking and incongruous, and indicates the need for a very rapid about-turn and sweeping changes collectively to the management mindset. And finally, number 30. Management will be fully aware that throughout this complaint, I have followed to the letter the guidance set out in our policies, procedures, and employee handbook. But as my complaint has gone on, a number of senior employees have chosen to diverge and to follow a different path. This refusal on the part of senior personnel to adhere to their own values, as clearly documented, has caused immense stress and anxiety on my part. But I am determined to see this through, to state my case, and to reach a measured and businesslike conclusion.